So a bit of background about the education technology space, or the education space in Kenya, was in 2003, our government made primary school education free. So we achieved since then almost universal enrollment, which was the good news, right? But then after that, we kept seeing studies coming out and there were problems. So I'm not going to go too much into what the problems in our education system are, but we know that numeracy rates aren't great. So 10% of standard 8 students can't solve class 2 problems. We know that there's a teacher shortage. Our national average is 45 students per teacher. And in some areas of Kenya, up in western, northeastern, it's as high as 60, 65. And then there's teacher absenteeism. So if you pop into an average Kenyan school and you pop into the average classroom, there's a 1 in 4 chance that the teacher is absent and not there. So about 45 students waiting to learn, no one to teach them. And then the fourth most glaring, probably not problem, but glaring symptom of what's happening is the dropout rate after primary school. So we're seeing 40% of students after primary school are dropping out and not moving on to secondary, let alone higher education. So what do we do about this? What does this solution look like? So I think globally there's many school-centric solutions. So build better schools, better environments for students to come to. In Kenya, there's a lot of focus on teacher-centric solutions, build or develop better capacity among teachers, better role models and instructors in the classroom. And I think globally, often a learner-centric approach is forgotten. And technology is more and more trying to address that problem. So 2003, primary school education was made free. So 10 years later, in 2013, our new president announced 1 laptop for every standard 1 student. So this was a huge promise, a huge step. It still hasn't been delivered. There is a wealth of problems that I think Mr. President and myself have been encountering and sharing along the way. So, what do we learn from this, and what does it look like? 1 laptop per child, 1 computing device per child. Does it look like the OLPC model? Does it look like HP giving out desktops and a computer lab in every school? Or does it look a bit like ELimu's poster child, Albert, going and using a tablet at a library after school? So my co-founder and I were very cognizant of the fact that when you take a picture like this, it's quite a sexy picture. And it's on a sexy canvas of an African child, an African school, and if he's using a tablet, it makes for a nice picture on a website. But what are we actually trying to achieve? What kind of learning outcomes do we hope to get? And how do we aim to change the way we approach teaching and learning in Kenya? So about ELimu. We're a Kenyan organization. We were born out of the iHub, which is, I hope all of you know, one of the leading innovation spaces and ecosystems, innovation hubs in Kenya. And my co-founder and I met there, and we said, let's make a Kenyan solution for a Kenyan problem. So all our content on our tablets is local Kenyan curriculum content, but not just a PDF version of a textbook, but once you log in and you pick one of the subjects, you see animations and videos and sound clips that are made by local animators and have culturally relevant references. So for teaching division, we're going to ask the children, if there's 12 mandazis and 4 friends, how many do they each get? So at every point, we're trying to make sure that the learning process is fun and engaging, but also relevant and contextualized for the child. And then when we were done with that, we said, well, that surely can't be it. That can't be our curriculum, but it was. And we said, what other lessons are there to be learned by your average 14-year-old? What do they need to equip themselves to be productive leaders and participants of 21st century economies? So this is where we developed our extended learning curriculum, which is focused on responsible citizenship.